Alright, in this video I'll be going over RaceRoom and some of the issues I've had setting it up with my Fanatec DD1 steering wheel. It was kind of a bear to get started, but come on, let's go. Welcome to OBS Studios. Alright, first thing we're going to do is open it up in just windowed mode here so I can go through some of these settings without having to deal with the VR headset. You click start and you wait. Alright, so we jump up here to the options. Go to controls, control set, and you see you've got missing device, missing device, missing device. And up here you can see that none of this is working. No throttle, no brake, no clutch, no steering. Go back, exit. Now, let's do it this time. We'll take the wheel off. Hit play. And it's coming up. Now we put the wheel back on. We go up to options, and amazingly, everything works. This is the one that I have. I've set up the key bindings for a few things. You can see the clutch, the brake, and the throttle, as well as the steering. All functions properly. Alright, with that out of the way, now we can jump back in to VR. I have to go through the same process again, only with the VR headset on, but I'll meet you in game. Alright, now that we got the control set and working, everything's identified here. Jump over here to force feedback. One of the first things you need to do is bind some controls here for the meter and up and down. That'll help you once you're in the car to get the best feel for the force feedback. These are some of the new settings you go through. I won't cover those in great detail other than to say that 90% is what I've settled on for my DD1 wheel for the force feedback strength, and I'll go over the settings that I have in the Fanatec software a little later as well. Immersion, I have these all turned off. I may turn these up once I start tweaking the butt kicker that I have. What I understand, this will work with the butt kicker well, so we'll see. Look for a follow-up video on that. Alright, here in the car setup is where you'll find your wheel settings, steering lock, and force feedback multiplier. This is the thing that makes it work right here. The different cars will have different settings. I've settled on 2x for the Formula Junior here. It's one of the free cars that come with it when you first get started. I would suggest using that. Make sure you like it before you spend any money. Hi, so what is RaceRoom? Alright, I won't bore you with too many details about RaceRoom, except to say it's been available since 2013, but only recently has its popularity increased, especially with the updated force feedback and physics models. Which leads me into the next topic. The force feedback in this sim is certainly different than most. Initially, I didn't think I would get it set to be useful. I want force feedback to give input to what the car is doing. Oversteer, understeer, that sort of stuff. Feeling curbs and bumps in the road adds to the immersion, but if I can't feel the car through the wheel, then it's no good to me. With the new settings, I'm finally able to get the force feedback where I can get these control inputs. So coupled with the visual input you get from VR, I can now feel the steering wheel get light as I cross a rise, and the car gets light, or if I get into an understeer situation. Let's take a few moments to appreciate the sounds. The roar of the motor, the brakes squeaking, the tires squealing. All this coupled with the visuals of the sparks coming off the cars and the smoke when you lock up the brakes really adds to the immersion. The sound and graphics are definitely on par with other VR sims. The sound and graphics setup, at least for me, was straightforward and painless, unlike the control issues mentioned earlier. Like I mentioned before, the sparks, while they may be a bit excessive, they certainly add to the cool factor. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. We'll start with single player. First is a single event. You pick your car, you pick your track, set up the rules, and you go race. That's what I have running in the background. Next you have a championship. Same thing, pick your car, pick a number of tracks, a number of rounds, etc. All your rules. Leaderboard challenge. This is where you run time trials against other real people. You pick your car, pick your track, pick the model, and go race. You can take a look at how you're doing against other people on the leaderboards. And evidently the car and track that I have selected here have no entries. And last but not least, for single player is the practice mode, which you'll probably spend most time in. Here you pick your car, pick your track, set your rules, go race, run your practice. Learn the tracks before you get out with other people. The next thing we'll talk about is the multiplayer, where I like to try to compete with iRacing in this aspect. Unfortunately, they have a long way to go because server lists are kind of few, and Europeans are usually busy. Europe, American servers, not so much. Oceania, Australian, guess they're still sleeping. That is only eligible, but I'm a rookie, so we make it all, update the server list. There's still not a whole lot more. And competitions, another option for you. These are scheduled events, big scheduled events. See, this one's scheduled for August 5th. Next one in this series at Spa. These are all the people that are competing or have competed in this series, and their scores. Then you have the store. And finally, while we're on this page, you can take a look at the portal, and that's where it keeps track of all your stats. Cars that I've used. Yeah, I haven't done too much with it yet, but I plan on it. Single races. I haven't done anything multiplayer yet, but I will be doing that very soon. Replay. This is a really nice function. The replay that you're watching comes from here. You get several options of your cameras, action cam, TV cam, select any driver, go back to you. So for some final thoughts, overall I like the game. One of the things that I forgot to mention in the graphics, the mirrors. When you're in VR and other sims, I can lean left and right, and the angle that I look at the mirror changes the perspective so I can actually see more behind me. Evidently here, there's no change in the angle. You look at the mirror, and no matter where you put your head, left or right, you still see the same picture. But that's just a minor detail. Would be nice if it got fixed. But overall quality is pretty good. I'll know more about it when I get some multiplayer time in, and I'll let you know more then. Alright, in conclusion, I think I'll be buying some more content, especially since it's on sale for the next few days. Let me know what you think. You leave a comment, and you play. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.